on, guys? DrewBlogz here. You're listening to Beat the Streets Cleveland podcast. I'm here with the man in charge himself, the executive director of Beat the Streets Cleveland, Demetrius Williams. Not only is he the executive director of Beat the Streets Cleveland, he's also an author. It's a great day to be great, written by Demetrius Williams. So, Demetrius, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? I know that Beat the Streets, the organization, is to positively alter the life's trajectory for K-12 student athletes in the city of Cleveland by giving them access to youth development, mentoring, and of course, wrestling.
Absolutely. So yeah, as you said, so we are a youth development and mentoring organization. We're very intentional in our mission of having the youth development and the mentoring first. But I tell people we're not a wrestling organization. We use the sport of wrestling as a tool to engage kids to ultimately create quality young men and young women of the future. So I'm super excited about that. We are one of the newer chapters within Beat the Street National. We have chapters all over the country, from New York all the way to California. Throughout the country, we're impacting thousands of kids. We're changing lives.
That's amazing, man. And we've known each other here for a little bit, gotten to know one another.
Mm-hmm.
I think here in Cleveland we have such great wrestling history,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time we have there are homes that where children are in and they're not maybe in the best situation,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they had a parent that passed away, maybe grandma and grandpa are raising them. There could be so many different factors
Mm-hmm.
that contribute to an athlete or a student walking through the Beat the Streets organization's doors. So what you guys do for them is so important.
Yeah.
And we see you guys all over the place, wrestling tournaments, and the whole group, the whole gang comes.
Yeah, so Northeast Ohio is amazing in wrestling area, from the St. Ed's to the Breckfield, the Wadsworth, but the actual city of Cleveland, prior to Beat the Street, we didn't have too many options. We would have to go to one of the suburban schools to get wrestling, to get that experience, that wrestling pedigree that Northeast Ohio is known for. So Beat the Street is trying to create that opportunity for kids within our inner city where you can go somewhere in your neighborhood, not 5-10 minutes to get that experience. So bringing quality coaches, quality leaders, and role models to the actual inner city of Cleveland, so those inner city kids can have that opportunity. Majority of the kids that we work with, like as you mentioned, come from single parent households, come from impoverished neighborhoods, where they had different traumatic situations may have happened in their lives. So with that understanding, we have a lot of coaches that have the training and the skill set that kind of help kids through that process.
Right.
So it's very intentional, and we're very specific about providing a different activity that can ultimately create quality young men and young women of the future.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned that you guys travel all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were in Chicago.
Yep.
That was Beat the Streets? That was like a
Beat the Street National Duel.
Yeah,
so all the chapters had the opportunity to come together to compete. We had a few days at training camps. We had some high-level clinicians. Ed Roof came. We have Kevin Gasson. We had some coaches from collegiate coaches coming in working with our kids. It was an amazing experience, and we kind of ended the week with a big duel where we actually made it to the finals against Chicago last year. We unfortunately lost. We're going to win it this year, but it was a great experience. So we having the opportunity to see kids from other cities and other states that maybe have similar experiences in life. So it was a great experience, a learning experience for the kids as well as the coaches.
That's something that these kids are going to remember for the rest of their life.
Sure, I'm going to remember the rest of my life. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah. That's amazing. And for those of you that are watching, you may be watching or listening, whatever it may be, we are actually live today from the epicenter of what's going to be the Beat the Streets, the main location, the headquarters.
Yeah, so just to kind of drop the bomb, actually this is the first time we actually announcing it to the public. We have our Beat the Street Cleveland headquarters. We're in the inner city of Cleveland in the Slavic Village neighborhood, right on Broadway. So this space here is going to be that safe space that we provide for kids. Of course, we're going to have a wrestling experience, but also we're going to have a space for off the mat activities and programming. We're going to have computer labs. We're going to have classroom to teach kids about entrepreneurship, leadership, financial literacy, health and wellness. We're going to have spaces for parents to learn different aspects. So if parents maybe have a class on talking about FAFSA, maybe a class on health and wellness, maybe a class on
Financial literacy.
Financial literacy, yes. So we want to make sure the community, not only our youth, but our parents have the resources to be successful in life as well. So this space that we're in currently is going to be that haven, that headquarters, that facility that we're going to be open 7 days a week. Most likely majority of the day, every day, all year round, so that we can provide them space. And not only the education, we want to have the fun aspect. I may bring a VR and have some PlayStation 5s in here, play some video games, have game tournaments and stuff like that. We want to make sure the space and that we can accommodate everyone, and it's free.
Absolutely.
So,
And I mean that you hear about it all the time. You watch, you watch some of these, like the kids that are playing basketball now or playing football, and they tell a story of maybe some organization that played a vital role in creating that spark for them that took them to the next level, or an organization like for example, we use Beat the Streets. There's a wrestler that's partaking in Beat the Streets now that he ends up winning, he becomes the next Jordan Burroughs, whatever it may be. That's the opportunities that they're trying to create here at Beat the Streets. It's about empowering the kids in the area that they can come here, they can feel safe, they can learn wrestling at the same time they're learning, like Demetrius said, financial literacy, FAFSA. They need help with FAFSA. Maybe they're trying to get into college, whatever it may be.
College application. So what I typically use is we're trying to create opportunity and increase possibilities. So what I mean by that, so we want to create a space where you can learn about things you probably wouldn't normally be exposed to. But then also learning that you're creating a possibility of other potential, other opportunity you're creating. So for example, we took kids last year to Spain and Israel. Just that exposure, you won't fully see the impact of that until later in life, because that experience, like, oh wow, I traveled to Spain, maybe all right, now maybe I can travel to another country. Maybe I can. You just create that. Wow, like you kind of open that door for them. You created like, okay, I did I overcome that hurdle. Cause a lot of kids, it was the first time they've ever been on a plane, first time ever leaving the country. Now it's like, wow, I kind of popped that cherry. Let me go travel somewhere else. I sent to being there, seeing somebody from the inner city, maybe Spain or Israel. You seeing that? Wow, like I want to go there. I had a kid tell me he want to move to Israel when he get older now.
Wow.
We're just creating that possibility.
Yeah.
So it's only the beginning. Like it's only the beginning.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless, and like you said, this is gonna be the headquarters. That's why the walls aren't painted. That's why we wanted to do the first episode from here, because we want to show you guys, like this is where it's gonna be all taking place. This is where it's all gonna be happening at. And it's gonna be cool to see when everything's in here. The mats are wall to wall, and you got the classrooms over here, the locker rooms, and all that. It's going to be neat to see how this building is going to be transformed.
It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful experience. So a lot of what's taking place here, kind of just bringing it back full circle. Me I actually grew up not too far from here, down on Cedar, Carnegie area.
Okay.
I grew up in a household that consisted of 2 blind parents, had disabled siblings, and had disabilities of my own.
Both of your parents were blind?
Both of my parents are blind, yeah. So we had a lot of different challenges growing up, and then add that with all 3 of our kids had disabilities, including myself being vision impaired, hearing impaired, and having a speech impediment. So I struggled socially, emotionally, physically. I struggled in different aspects of life. I didn't really start seeing evolution in my life until I started wrestling, and I didn't have that experience in high school.
Okay.
So like put that in comparison. A lot of kids that we work with now, we're working with kindergartners. We're working 5, 6, 7-year-olds. They're having that experience that I had in high school at a younger age.
Right.
So this is very intentional. Everything that experience that I had in high school of just that ability to overcome obstacles. Come on wrestling, like dealing or you lose, but still better bounce back and wrestle. Having that experience of overcoming obstacles, going through a weight loss, that process, going through the process of just in the beginning getting beat up. You know what I mean? Just going through that process, but still keeping your head up and fighting through it.
And what a better sport to do it than with wrestling.
Wrestling. So I had that experience in high school. Just imagine if you can create that experience, that process at a younger age. So
the opportunities are right there. It's such you giving the kids the opportunity at an early age. It sets them that much further apart from whether that may be someone who started wrestling in high school.
Yep.
So they get that opportunity early on, and then they learn those life values and those lessons that we learn through wrestling.
Yep.
And I think it's super cool. I mean, for those of you that you were just listening to Demetrius, both of his parents blind.
Yeah.
And for Demetrius himself, hearing impaired and vision impaired, I can relate. I lost my eye at the age of 8 to stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
And I got nothing but respect for that, my friend. And I think it's neat how wrestling is able to teach you to overcome those obstacles that you have in life. And that leads me to my next topic and talking point for this episode is you wrote a book. You wrote a book called "It's a Great Day to Be Great." Demetrius Williams. Tell us a little bit about your book.
So what's interesting about this? So I have this whole journey of I had to overcome a lot of obstacles throughout my lifetime, and kind of got to self-motivate myself. Everybody had good days and bad days.
Yeah.
And for me, I used to motivate myself. Like, you know what? It's a great day to be great. Let's take advantage of the opportunity. Every day the opportunity to get better. Every day the opportunity to be great, but we don't fully take advantage of it sometimes. So just having that. So for me, it's a crazy story. So a couple years ago, I decided I wanted to run a half marathon. Let's put it in perspective. I'm a big man. So if people that's listening on audio, I'm a big guy. I'm not a runner at all. But I decided I'm going to run a half marathon. I never ran a half marathon. But I said I'm going to pay for it. I signed up for it, which financially commits me to doing it. So I started training. So I started running a mile here, a mile there. Eventually, I started running 2 miles, 3 miles. And then right before the race, I said, what? I don't want my first time to run a half marathon to be doing the race.
Right.
I said, all right, let me go out to the towpath towards Akron and say, all right, I told my wife to go 13 miles out, meet me 13 miles out, I'm going to run to you.
Yeah.
And so I'm running. I did a mile, first mile, I did the second mile, 5 miles, 7 miles. Got to the 10-mile mark, my body shut down on me.
It said, no way, we're not doing this.
It said, no. My body told me no. Like, literally, my legs locked up, my body whole cramped up. It was bad. I was laying on the side of the towpath on the ground, took my shoes off. I was like, I'm done. I quit. People literally walking by, like, you need help? I said, no, I'm living here forever. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But while I'm laying there, I'm like, wow, it's an opportunity for me to get better. It's literally that opportunity that I
get back up and keep going.
Just imagine if I kept going, right? Just that it's a great day to be great.
Even if you just finished it, you got to find a way to finish it.
Got to find a way to finish it. And they go back to the wrestling. They go back to, like I said, it's take advantage of just that. A lot of time and I experience it now. Like, you get to a point where you feel like you can't go no more, but you got to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's what happened there.
You feel like that almost once a practice. I feel
it's a point where you feel like you can't go no more.
Yeah.
But you got to keep going. And that was that moment. While I was laying on the ground, I'm like, I got it. It's a great day. I kept saying it's a great day to be great. Let's take advantage of the opportunity. It's a great day to be great. Take advantage of it. I got up. I ran that last 3 miles at a faster pace than I ran the first 10 miles. And
those people probably thought you were insane.
Crazy. So look. So then on about a mile from that 10 miles, about 11 miles, whatever. It was an ice cream shop. I don't know why it's on the top of it, but the people stopped there. They were sitting there eating ice cream, and they saw me like, I thought the dude was there. I'm in stride, running past them while they sitting there eating ice cream, and it was an amazing feeling. But that feeling changed my life. It literally changed my life. Like, wow, but like I said, go back. If I didn't have wrestling, I didn't have that experience when I was in high school, I wouldn't have nothing to pull from. So it's like, wow, like, it's a great day to be great. Take advantage of opportunity. Every day, it's an opportunity to get better. Every day is an opportunity just to get close to whatever that goal is, whatever that your motivation is, whatever that you're aspiring to get to, even if it's 1%. Take advantage of the opportunity. So on days I don't feel like working out, I work harder. On days I don't feel like doing that, I do more. It's like mentally telling myself, like, no, don't fall into that. Don't fall into that. I don't want to do nothing. Don't fall into that lazy. Like, it's this morning. I didn't want to work out this morning, but I went to the gym. I went harder than I did the last 3-4 days. On the day I really did not want to go.
Right.
I had to force myself to go.
I get it.
But I have goals and my aspirations and things I want to work towards, and very intentional. So that's kind of what this book is talking about. It's talking about various stories during my life that made me into the person I am today. That made me into the Demetrius, the entrepreneur, the executive director, the author. And this year I was actually, or last year I was selected Cleveland Cranes Business Top 40 under 40. So having those accomplishments and coming from the inner city of Cleveland to get my bachelor's and master's degree, it wasn't easy. But it wasn't. I
Where
admit.
did you get your degrees from? What school did you go to?
John Carroll University. I'm a blue streak. So I got my bachelor's degree in business management, my master's degree in nonprofit administration. So both of those experiences, both of them degrees helped me to everything I'm doing pretty much for Big Street Cleveland.
Those are, yeah, the fundraising, all that you do. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's a one-man show for the most part. He's out all day, every day. Either he's calling or he's shooting emails.
Yeah.
The man is busy 24/7, and I don't like you just had a little one too, so like you don't have much time for sleep, my friend.
I sleep. So I just going back to college days, man. I got to get it done.
Yeah.
You got to get it done, and so. Now I just had a son. He's 4 months old. He literally just left here. It's no days off, no time off. But I'm used to it. It's my life. I'm addicted. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with, and it's not even about me. I'm obsessed about changing lives.
Yeah.
Everything I do in my life about impacting other people, from my consulting business to me writing a book to me working at Beat the Street Cleveland. It's not about me. It's about helping other people, changing lives. I'm on a board, various board. I'm a mentor to a lot of people. I'm a role model to a couple of people. I'm a consultant for a few people. Everything I do is about helping other people. Right. I want them to reach their goals and reach their full potential in life. So
your story is amazing. For those of you that you're watching, it's a great day to be great. I know we've mentioned this multiple times, but this whole book that Demetrius wrote, he even goes back to his original home that he grew up in as a child. And I think it's a picture of your sisters and
my mom, my sister, my wife, my brother. Mm-hmm.
So right here, you guys can check it out. It's on page 39 is the picture of Demetrius and his family at the childhood home that he grew up in. So tell me a little bit about that. Is that like, what are, you got pictures in here from your wrestling days, how people in your life impacted you, and how fun was that to be able to go back to your childhood home?
So my mom is my mother and father. So as I mentioned, they're both blind, but they didn't let that hold them back.
Right.
They say that people are handicapped. They say they're handy-capable. So both my parents were very active in the nonprofit community.
Handy-capable, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't let it hold. My mom, she used to be on the board. She's for president of the National Federation of the Blind Cleveland chapter. Actually, both my parents were involved in that chapter when my father was alive. My father was also the president of the blind beat baseball team.
There's a baseball team for blind members.
A baseball team for the blind. They travel all over the world. He's been in China, Japan, Australia, playing baseball, and all over the country playing baseball.
How do they play baseball blind?
It's an amazing sport, man. So the ball beeps and the bases make a buzz.
Okay.
So you got the batter and the catcher and the pitcher are on the same team. The opposite team is in the field.
Okay.
So you got to hit the ball and you got to get to a base, either first or third base, before the people in the field get the ball.
Okay.
It's a very competitive sport. But my father was super. I think a lot of the drive I get it from them. But he used to do fundraising event. He partnered with the Cleveland Indians, with now Guardians. He partnered with the Browns. He partnered with the Cavs. They did a fundraising event with them. He was very active in that space.
Yeah.
And literally when he passed away in 2008, he said that the last thing he wanted to wear is his jersey. And that's what we did.
Was it a Browns jersey, huh?
No, it was his baseball team jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay. It was called the Cleveland Scrappers. And
Scrappers.
Yeah, right. And so that I see a lot of them intangibles. The way he committed his life to that team and created opportunity. He traveled all over the world, and I traveled around the country with him too because of that team.
Well, so, if you think about it, you're kind of doing the same thing your dad did. You're now traveling the country with your wrestlers and your students, doing the same thing your dad did for the blind. You are now doing that for the wrestlers.
Yep.
So
a lot of the things I get from him, he was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame in New York a few years ago. We actually had a chance to go to the ceremony. They honored We actually went on his behalf, but he did an amazing thing for that sport. And it's still going on to this day, and
That's
yeah.
really cool. I never knew that blind, if you were blind, like how that, I had heard
Yeah.
things about blind baseball, but I never knew how it really
Yeah,
worked.
no, they had a guy on their team that got drafted to the major leagues, and he got hit in the head with a baseball and went completely blind. So then he played on that team. This dude can hit the ball 300 and 400 feet blind.
Wow, that's
Like,
insane.
this dude smacked it. He was just a guy. His name was Marty. Amazing guy. So they had a lot of amazing guys. Athletes. Look, I seen a blind guy catch a line drive. My father used to catch line drive. Like,
Because when they hit the ball,
the ball beep, so you can hear it. His hearing was a whole lot better than mine. He'd be ready and catch a line drive without seeing, just off of sound.
That's
It's
amazing.
crazy.
It is amazing
Like,
what the
like they be
human body can
diving,
do.
and it's super amazing, competitive. So, but I say that to say, like, both, and my mom, she still to this day goes around. Somebody go blind, she goes and helps them kind of cope with their blindness. What she says, life after blindness. She pre-COVID, she used to go to people's houses, and when they go blind, and teach them how to navigate within their own house.
Wow.
Teach them how to cook, how to do their laundry, how to iron their clothes, how to do simple tasks that you take for granted because you use your eyes. So she teach people how to go through that process. She teaches Braille. She teaches people how to just kind of deal with the mental
cope with life. Yeah. Because for someone like me, I lost my eye when I was 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine going blind when you're an adult or a young adult. It's got to be, mentally exhausting, socially exhausting, because then you try to explain. How do you explain to people that, people are always going to ask questions? I explain to people all the time about, like, what happened to your eye? Well, I go in and I explain it because that's just how life is. And, it's got to be difficult when you're older in life. So that's great. And I don't know if you'd notice this also, but your mom helping, your father helping, that's where you get it from, man. You get it all from your parents.
I do. So a huge reason I do what I do because of them. I kind of continue to torch, and they're amazing individuals, man. And I'm excited about the future of what I'm doing and in the community and beat the streets and just continue to help people as much as I can.
Yeah, and I think that's clearly evident, through this book. I read it myself too. Jess and I read this, and you were telling a story about the baseball that's in here, and then you were able to graduate. You graduated college, and now you've got you're the executive director of Beat the Streets. Yeah. You're giving back. I mean, that's what it's what we're supposed to do, is to give back. I mean, that's just life.
So it's like, and I said it. This may sound. I'm working on my obituary. I know this sounds crazy. I want my obituary to say, I changed as many people's lives. I help people. Not like, I know I got this story, resume, and all these things I accomplished. But I want to be like, hey, he came on this earth to help other people.
Yeah.
And that's literally, honestly, whatever your goal is. If your goal is to get money, let me help you in that part. If your goal is, I don't care if a kid, if your goal get a girlfriend, whatever your goal is.
He's your guy. He's your guy.
Whatever your goal is, let me help you in that goal. And that's kind of how I operate, man. That's how I got into this role with Beat the Street. When honestly, a lot of people know when I took this position, organization didn't have the money to pay me. I said I would do it for free.
You did this for free.
I was doing this job for free. Can I say, I'm committed. I want to help other people.
The man didn't take a paycheck for how?
It was a little bit. Now I got a paycheck now. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I got a kid and I can't. But initially, when I didn't know what the future held. I bet on myself essentially. I said, you know what? I believe in what my hustle, my drive, and I believe in the process that I created. That I knew that eventually the money would come. That the opportunity would come. So I said, I would do it. And it may sound foolish to some people, but it's just like the type of person I am.
So look where you're sitting now. We're sitting in, how many square feet is this?
10,000 square feet.
10,000 square feet. The man has fundraised so much that now they're able to. They're going to be building out this 10,000 square foot.
We still need more money though. We still.
Donations. I mean, donations are key.
But we have come through the help of my amazing board. and a lot of sleepless nights for myself and my team. We was able to get to this point, but in the beginning it was rough.
How many contributing factors have who was there was a chapter that donated like $15,000 last month or something like that?
I mean, so we always getting donations from a lot, but it's a lot of different. I mean, my board is huge, and having a committed board with any nonprofit, right? Having a quality board is so important, and not just the financial aspect. The people that donate their time, their resources, their contacts, all of that play a huge role. Without my board, we would not be here. I'm gonna be honest. They gave me the resources to be successful. They gave me the context to reach out to.
Right.
And then, of course, I mean, I had to follow through. I had to do a lot of different things, create programs. Last year, we were able to impact over 1,200 kids. So that's through various partnerships, working with Cleveland Metropolitan School District, working with CMHA, working with various high schools in the area. We was able to do that, but it's a lot of moving pieces, man. Cleveland Foundation, St. Louis Foundation, United Black Fund, the Humble Hearts Foundation. We had a lot of different organizations that really believe in us, that committed to us, and made financial contribution and in-kind donation to get us to where we at.
That's amazing. How many schools does Beat the Streets Cleveland actually? Are you guys in the schools, or how many schools are you guys working with?
Great question. So in the spring, we're going to be in 17 locations throughout the city of Cleveland. 17 locations.
And now, do you make your way around to all the different schools?
I eventually do make my way, and then Coach Anthony Spooner, who's our head mentor.
Anthony Spooner is the head mentor.
He's running that show. He's helped me manage that. I don't know where we would be without him. So
he's a St. Ed's guy, for those of you that are listening.
He is a St. Ed's guy. But he helps out a lot. He's amazing at leading that and kind of being that, creating the curriculum for each location. For example, day one at every single location is the same.
Okay.
Because he created that curriculum for every location.
That's amazing.
So he does a great job. So we're gonna do like 4 or 5 week program at each of the locations, and then the goal is, hey, that's exposing the kids to what we're doing, the program, the mentoring. Now you like to come back to our headquarters, come to our facility, and get a more immersive experience where you can not only be it won't be a 4-week program, it'll be a year-round program, so you can be a joint. So being in these different schools, it gives us the opportunity to engage
and network.
It's like a recruiting aspect, honestly, because we're showing the kids.
You're trying to keep the kids. You're trying to keep them safe and give them an opportunity to have a successful life.
Yep.
So I mean, it is.
We're exposing them to what we're doing. I think, and then once they're like, oh wow, like I want to be a part of that. So I think, man, I'm super excited. It's gonna grow. Like we're gonna be at 17 in the spring. I plan on maybe being at 20 locations in the summer, and then and so when we're able to do that through the amazing work, of course I say Anthony Spooner, but also partnering with local colleges here, Cleveland State, John Carroll, Case Western Reserve, Baldwin Wallace, John Carroll University. Working with these universities, we're working with their current college wrestlers and their staff, and which they're going through our training program, and they're helping us at these various locations too.
That's amazing. So for those of you that are listening or watching, we have, this isn't just for little boys. This is for little girls.
Yep.
This, boys and girls. Women's wrestling is if not the largest, that's the second largest growing sport for women in the world. So females that are wrestling now, it's a thing. It really is. When maybe 15, 20 years ago, there were girls wrestling, but the ones who pioneered women's wrestling and have gotten it to this point now, where states like Iowa, Ohio, I think Pennsylvania is going to be having a sanctioned girls state tournament now. This is an organization that is primarily youth development, but the secondary would be wrestling.
So we just hired a coach, Christina Schmidt. She's amazing. She actually went to Brunswick High School, but she went on to wrestle at Life University.
Oh, Life's they've got a great program down there.
She's amazing. So she's a doctor and chiropractor, and she's our head woman coach.
Okay.
She's going to be leading our woman freestyle Greco team this year, freestyle team. For the young ladies.
They are going to have women's Greco though.
Eventually, she's actually excited about that because she said she's actually still competing too. So she's in training mode right now. She's going to be competing hopefully this year at the U.S. Open.
And for those of you that you've obviously seen Beat the Streets Cleveland. There's the Philly chapter, Los Angeles chapter. There's all these Chicago. At the beginning of, I think it was the fall, you guys had a Beat the Streets gala where you had Jordan Burroughs, David Habit, Tyreek Wilson,
we had Chad Redd, Lee Kemp, Nate Jackson, Cam Caffey. We had a lot of amazing people come out. We did that last year. And this year's event is going to be June 24th at the Cleveland Public Auditorium. We're going to have a lot of amazing guests this year. We're not going to announce them just yet, but it's going
to be live streamed this time, right?
We're going to have a live stream. We're going to have some amazing matches, some clinics. So it's going to be open for the whole entire family. So it's going to be June 24th at the Cleveland Public Auditorium downtown.
Getting it done a little early this year. I think if you get it done in June, like you're saying, the 24th of June, that's prime time. That's before Fargo. It's before all this stuff, and it's just kicking off the summer with an experience like that, the Beat the Streets Gala. That's, like I said, you got Jordan Burroughs there, Lee Kemp's in the house, and you got people competing in wrestling. You're gonna have a wrestling card on the gala as well, so you're gonna be able to see matches.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty amazing. So we're gonna, in the morning, it's gonna be wrestling clinic. So we're gonna have everybody that's gonna have competing gonna be helping out with the wrestling clinic, and then in the evening we're gonna have some food and some drinks and stuff like that, and have a DJ and have some great matches, maybe 10 to 12 matches.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And I think every bit of the the proceeds, they go back and it gets put back in to Beat the Streets Cleveland, the organization. I think this was super cool. This was super cool that we have this opportunity that we're able to sit down. We're able to talk about the Beat the Streets Cleveland chapter and what's in store for it. What's next? Is it getting this built? When is the building? When do you think it'll get finished?
Yeah. So the plan is we're gonna have this building done by the fall.
Okay.
We want to have it right before the beginning of the new school year. We're gonna have a grand opening. So follow us on all our various social medias. We're gonna have a grand opening event. We're gonna have different things maybe leading up to it. So we're super excited. We're actually doing a capital campaign for any big donors. So follow us on various social media, and then this podcast. I'm super excited about this podcast as well. Throughout the podcast, we're going to be kind of showing different things throughout the process as we go, as we develop the space. We then also had the opportunity to meet the rest of our team.
Yeah, I look forward to having, like you said, Demetrius is obviously, he's the man that runs the show. I wanted him to be the first guest on the show so we can give you, he can give you a little bit of a rundown of what Beat the Streets Cleveland is all about. We're going to have the other coaches on. We're going to have some of the parents of some of the athletes that come through, your students come through, the parents. You want to hear what the parents have had to say and how it's impacted, their child's life and what you guys have done for them. And it's nothing short of a miracle for some of these kids.
Absolutely.
So, like you said, you're trying to change lives. You guys need to follow them, Beat the Streets Cleveland. And, they're doing an amazing, amazing thing here in Northeast Ohio. I see these guys all over the place. And I'm going to be hosting the podcast here for the time being. And I look forward to, having everybody else on, man. I'm excited. I think you got a lot of good things in store.
Thank you.
So,
appreciate
Beat the Streets Cleveland, guys. You guys need to give them a follow. And hey, for those that maybe want to donate, how can they reach out to you, or what do they do?
So you can go to the website. You can reach out to me personally. My information on the website, BTS, B as in boy, T as in Tom, S as in Sally, btscle.org. So BTS, Beat the Streets, cle.org. Check it out. Send me an email. My number is on there. Give me a call.
Sweet, man. So you heard it, btscle.org. That's beatthestreetscleveland.org. And, we'll be bringing you guys some solid content. I think I'm going to get a walk around of, I'm going to do a little panorama of the facility. And I think we'll throw that into the episode. We can do that for sure. Yep. So, hey, Demetrius, man, I'm glad I was able to make it out today.
Absolutely.
Good seeing you, my friend. Yeah, absolutely.